In September of 2000, the founders of a struggling DVD buy-mail company flew to Dallas for a meeting with Blockbuster. Their company was Netflix, and they came with a proposal. Netflix would handle Blockbuster's online rental business. Blockbuster would promote Netflix through its stores. The price attached to the deal was roughly $50 million. Blockbuster declined. Today, that meeting is remembered as one of the worst missed opportunities in business history. But that version leaves out the most important part. Because Blockbuster eventually did recognize the threat, it launched an online subscription service, it removed conventional late fees, and it built a rental program that offered something Netflix could not. For a brief moment, Blockbuster had a real comeback underway. Then the company began pulling it apart. By the year 2000, Blockbuster was one of the most recognizable companies in America. Its stores were everywhere. Millions of customers still walk through those doors to rent movies and games. Netflix was something very different. It had no stores, no famous brand, and no guarantee that mailing DVDs to customers would ever become a profitable business. According to Netflix co-founder Mark Randolph's account, Netflix proposed a partnership in which it would manage Blockbuster's online operation. The company was valued at approximately $50 million. Blockbuster passed. From the perspective of today, the decision seems almost impossible to defend. But Blockbuster was not rejecting the Netflix we know now. It was rejecting a small, money-losing DVD by mail company during the collapse of the dot-com bubble. Netflix had identified where the industry might be heading. Blockbuster still controlled where the industry was, and that distinction mattered. The meeting became a legend because Netflix survived. But the rejection did not immediately destroy Blockbuster. The deeper problem was the business Blockbuster had already built. Blockbuster stores were both its greatest advantage and its greatest burden. They gave customers instant access to movies. They created nationwide brand recognition, and they generated revenue from every visit. But every store also meant rent, utilities, inventory, payroll, and long-term commitments. Netflix did not have to support thousands of retail locations. It could add customers without opening another building. And it offered something Blockbuster customers had wanted for years. No due dates, no trips back to the store, and no traditional late fees. For Blockbuster, matching that offer was not a simple improvement. It meant attacking revenue produced by its existing business. In December 2004, Blockbuster announced that it would eliminate conventional late fees at participating stores. The company projected that those fees might otherwise have contributed between $250 and $300 million in operating income during 2005. Blockbuster believed increased traffic and other sales could replace the lost income. But the decision exposed the trap. To compete with Netflix, Blockbuster needed to make its own stores less profitable before the new business was ready to replace them. And just as that transformation began, another decision added pressure to the company's balance sheet. In 2004, Blockbuster was separated from its parent company, Viacom. Before the separation, Blockbuster paid shareholders a special cash distribution of approximately $905.6 million. Blockbuster did not fund that payment with excess cash sitting safely in the bank. It used $650 million in new borrowing, along with $300 million in subordinated notes, to fund the distribution and related costs. Viacom received approximately $738 million of the payout. This does not mean that one distribution alone caused Blockbuster's bankruptcy. The rental industry was already changing. Competition was increasing, stores were weakening, and streaming would eventually transform the entire market. But Blockbuster entered the most important transition in its history with less room to make expensive mistakes. That mattered because competing with Netflix was about to become very expensive. Blockbuster did not remain frozen while Netflix grew. It launched Blockbuster Online. Then in late 2006, it introduced Total Access. Subscribers received DVDs through the mail. But unlike Netflix customers, they could take those mailed DVDs to a participating Blockbuster store. There they could exchange them for an immediate in-store rental. Customers did not have to wait for another movie to arrive in the mail. Blockbuster was turning its store network into an advantage. Netflix itself acknowledged the pressure in its annual filing, noting that Blockbuster was aggressively promoting Total Access and had grown its online business to approximately 2 million subscribers. By the end of 2006, Blockbuster reported approximately 2.2 million online subscribers, including around 2 million paying customers. This was not a company completely ignoring the future. It was a company building a serious competitor, and the strategy was working well enough that Blockbuster expected even more growth. But growth came at a price. Blockbuster failed because it never took Netflix seriously. Blockbuster built a major online service, but sustaining it required the company to weaken its existing business while spending heavily to acquire customers. Blockbuster's filings repeatedly warned that its online service required significant ongoing investment. The company planned a $35 million national marketing campaign for Total Access in early 2007. It also estimated that providing free in-store exchanges cost approximately $2 per subscriber every month, even after accounting for some benefits from increased store traffic. The following year, Blockbuster reported that the free exchanges had cost approximately $140 million during 2007. The company described Total Access as competitively strong, but it also admitted that the program's costs had contributed to a significant decline in profitability. Blockbuster had found an answer to Netflix. The problem was that every new online subscriber could place more pressure on the stores still funding the transformation. The comeback was growing, so were its costs. Blockbuster's leadership believed continued investment was necessary. CEO John Antioco argued that spending on Total Access would contribute to the company's long-term success. But investors were watching the losses. Billionaire shareholder Carly Kahn publicly criticized management for pouring money into the online service. During the first quarter of 2007, a $35 million Total Access campaign helped drive Blockbuster's advertising expenses to $76.6 million, nearly double the amount from the same period a year earlier. At the same time, revenue from Blockbuster's physical rental business continued to decline. The disagreement was not simply about whether the internet mattered. It was about how much money Blockbuster could afford to lose while trying to reach it. Antioco eventually left the company. Blockbuster shifted toward improving profitability and modified its Total Access strategy. It had gained millions of online subscribers, but the company could not continue subsidizing the same aggressive offer indefinitely. It is too simple to say that one investor killed Blockbuster. The company faced declining stores, expensive leases, new competitors, changing technology, and major debt obligations. But the conflict exposed the central problem. The strategy with the best chance of transforming Blockbuster also created losses that shareholders and the existing business struggled to absorb. Meanwhile, the market kept moving. Netflix continued growing its subscription business. Redbox placed inexpensive rental kiosks in convenient locations. Digital downloads and streaming reduced the need for physical stores altogether. Blockbuster still had thousands of locations, along with the costs attached to them. Its 2006 annual report listed more than 5,000 Blockbuster-branded and related stores in the United States and its territories alone. The store network that had once made Blockbuster nearly impossible to challenge was becoming a financial weight. By the time streaming became the future, Blockbuster was trying to fund several transitions at once: protect the stores, grow online subscriptions, compete on price, reduce debt, and invest in digital delivery. There was no painless option. In its later filings, Blockbuster pointed to increasing competition, the decline of traditional store rentals, debt service obligations, and liquidity constraints that prevented it from fully carrying out its strategic plans. On September 23, 2010, Blockbuster entered Chapter 11. The company said its proposed restructuring would reduce its debt from nearly $1 billion to $100 million or less. Blockbuster did reject Netflix. That decision became the story everyone remembers. But years later, Blockbuster made many of the changes people claim it never attempted. It built an online subscription service, it attacked conventional late fees, and it used its stores to create an advantage Netflix could not immediately copy. For a moment, the strategy attracted millions of subscribers. But Blockbuster was trying to replace its own business while that same business was weakening. The stores required cash. The online service required investment. The debt required payment. And shareholders wanted the losses to stop. The problem was no longer recognizing the future. It was surviving the cost of reaching it. Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy on September 23, 2010. The $50 million meeting became the legend. The financial trap that followed was the story most people never saw.